Let's keep trucking this hour and get things up and back up. We'll go back to the phone lines too. Birmingham Broker bringing you the show this hour. BHAMBroker.com, BHAMBroker.com. Man, a while back, and I need to check in with Craig and see how it's going because there's so many buyers out there right now. It's such a good market to sell that they had sold out of everything they had. I mean, they had sold the whole place out, which means he's got people looking for something to do on his staff, and the buyers are there, and he needed inventory. And I think that's still the case as we get toward the late part of summer. If you've got a car deal that you're about to be executing on either end of the equation, if you've got one to sell, take it down to Birmingham Broker and just let them do it. You got people to do that for you. You don't have to just take peanuts for it when you trade in at a dealer, and you don't have to go out there and try to do all the weird stuff you got to do to sell one yourself. Just take it down there and turn it over to them. You can establish a minimum that you want if that's the case. They'll help you set a top-end price, which they're better at than at least I was a few years ago. They had a higher price for a truck I had for sale, and they turned around and got it. I was amazed. It was money in my pocket, and that can be a big difference nowadays between the trade-in value and the retail value. So get every dime you can out of these deals and let Birmingham Broker handle it for you. They're downtown Birmingham, 4th Avenue South, BHAMBroker.com, BHAMBroker.com. All right, I've been kind of heavy for the first 2 hours today. A lot of data center talk, and of course, we did a little bit of review on some of these elections yesterday. But apparently this afternoon there's been another bear sighting. He's back.
Uh-oh.
I thought he was done. I thought he was back off in the woods somewhere.
No.
But I don't know if it's the same bear.
School's about to start. So
it's true, yeah. He's just trying to wrap up. He's taking advantage of some back-to-school sales.
Yeah.
So my man James Spann down at 3340, somehow he's like Bearpedia. He's got all the bear pictures. Everybody sends James the bear pictures. And a black bear, we don't know if it's the same black bear, but he was spotted in Pell City this morning.
Oh, wow. He walked a long way.
And it looked like he was at a drive-thru, like walking through. I don't blame him. He's going the wrong way there.
Yeah, can I get a burger?
Yeah.
I heard the breakfast was really good.
You got anything with the honey on it? So, again, we don't know if this is the same bear, but I will say, as the crow flies from where the bear was on 280 in the Narrows back toward Pell City, if he's just walking through the woods on a more direct-ish path, he could easily have made his way over to Pell City. By car, it's 25 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. I don't know what the mileage would be by road. But the bear, of course, is going to take a different path. But could be the same bear. I don't know. Does he have particular markings or something that distinguishes him so that we can tell him apart?
Yeah.
Like a little patch on his face, or you know how it is.
A little scar.
Scarface bear.
Yeah.
Where he's been tangling with some other bears. But he does look, just on a casual observation, it did look from the video like he's about the same size, like a juvenile male bear just wandering around doing his thing. And he's getting used to humans, which is, I would presume, now he's still running from everybody and nobody's had an encounter with him, but he knows where the food's at.
Mm-hmm.
I'd imagine he took down some trash cans during his time in Inverness and in that part around Eagle Point and all that.
Now I'm starting to realize he was like, man, look, I was running through all y'all trash out here off of 280, and look, quinoa is not for me. I'm not gonna do no quinoa, no broccoli.
Yeah, it just
I want some food.
I need some leftover ribs and stuff. It needs to come by my house.
Where the hot dogs at?
You got to think about it. A bear would love recycling because you're kind of pre-sorting for him. All the good stuff's in the other can.
Mm-hmm.
He don't want any tin cans and cardboard. He's looking for the good stuff. But anyway, yeah, another bear sighting in the news. At least I think the video is recorded this morning. Spam put it up a couple hours ago. Henry is in Winston County. What's up, Henry?
Hey, Yogi is in town.
Yeah, I know.
I'll tell you what, don't feed the bears or you'll end up with a Yogi smarter than the average bear, Democrat bear.
All right.
I tell you, I'm glad you were messing with this whole thing with the data centers. And I liked when Boomer called. He was throwing out some ideas. But you know what? There ain't a single Democrat or Republican lawmaker that's going to do exactly what you were doing with Boomer and the other people calling. They're not going to. They're not capable of it. They have, in fact, they have to rely on others, their staffers, or whatever. But there is a way to do this. If we can put a nuclear sub under the water for a year or longer, we can build as many reactors for submarines, but for data plants as much as we need. Then we just need what do they call them? The chilled water or hydro plants, where they're a closed system. They actually never do. We used to use them on board ship and keep the cool down the steam and turn it back into water. So there are methods, and they're right under our nose, but we have to be able to use them. But we start, and I know your point. That's why I didn't want to get too far off on the idea thing, because what you started with is the most important. The fact that Tuberville coach is giving the Democrats anything to gnaw on. I mean, he's going to get another $1 million from his people, not from the DNC, but from whoever is going to give him money. He's going to get another $1 million just for, causing the grief that he did.
Yeah.
And the Republicans are so good at messaging. So I don't know if Tuberville wants to be a Republican and not have a way to message his way out of this, because I really don't know why we're hurting in any way, shape, or form. We shouldn't be cutting the penises off of little baby boys, and they ought to be able to message that, but they can't. Do you hear anybody messaging? No, I don't. And if you hear of any Republican, Leland, I would gladly listen to you. Tell me how they're messaging and how good it is, or how it's all bad right now, isn't it?
Well, let me just jump in with you, Henry. Again, I'm not even trying to get on the Tuberville bashing thing. I'm going to vote for him. I mean, and maybe that insulates him a little bit. He's in a state where the Republicans have a huge advantage, and Democrats have lost their freaking minds. Nominating an Islamo socialist again in Michigan is going to scare some mainstream people. So there's no point. Mainstream people that aren't actively involved in politics, could care less about either party, but would have a propensity to go vote, are still concerned about this confusing issue over where these things are going and what are the repercussions. It's not Chinese propaganda to be worried about your water supply or your power bill. Those are real world things that have manifested because people are all reading. And to just give a blanket sort of policy idea that they would just approve. Well, let me just put this way, that they're coming. There's no sense in arguing about it. Anything else is Chinese propaganda. I'm not listening is a bad political move. We can sit here and argue the megawatts and the engineering and the logistics and the ground. We can talk about the actual facilities all day, Henry. But the politics of it, and that's where I know more than I know about how the data centers function, it's really stupid to hand Doug Jones anything that could give him a mainstream appeal where he's carrying a brand name that just looks like Kooktown right now. And Jones is smart to seize on this because Tuberville came out of the gate being absolute. And now I think Jones is going to get some traction, and you're going to see the polling a lot closer than people in Alabama would be comfortable with. Because Tuberville has staked out the wrong position, and not even even Greg Abbott has put a little bit of a moratorium in Texas until they figure out how to do it. And it's not just a matter of us accepting that they're coming, because we know that, but where do we put them, and how do we get there, and what are the consequences? Those questions are reasonable. It's not propaganda, and it needs to be something that we have time to answer. Just to repeat myself from earlier in the show, I think it's a huge tactical error for people to just blanketly follow Trump on this, because Trump, Henry, is looking at the big picture. Here's a guy who's the president of a whole country, who's in direct negotiations and in direct competition with the Chinese. He's been trying to reverse engineer a lot of Chinese damage. In fact, today they just put out an edict that you can't bring in Chinese humanoid robots because there's a security risk to those. So they're doing the right thing for the big picture being we got to beat these people to all of this or the future doesn't belong to us. I totally get that. But you can't run over, well, you bring it all back home where voters vote for governor in Alabama and people vote in their local elections. You cannot run over people in the tangible world where people live and breathe and work and where their kids play sports and where things go down. You cannot run over people with big corporate America saying that it's inevitable. Because my thinking is, it sounds just like the argument they were giving us during COVID that this is for your own good. You don't understand it. Shut up and go along. And we cannot be people that take that position.
Exactly what you said earlier, too. It sounds just like the Democrats. It sounds just like Fauci, Franken Fauci. And, you know, I don't want to fall into that trap because we've fallen that far enough. Even Trump has. Trump is going with a little too many socialized businesses, you know, when he's buying into these companies. I don't like that. And I'm not afraid to say it because it's not capitalistic. It's socialistic. It's bordering on the communistic. And if he does it, and he has, what's the Democrats going to say? Oh, well, Trump did it. Y'all love Trump. Trump did it. We're just doing what Trump did. You got to love us, too. And that's what's going to happen. You know, they're going to use it against us. They use everything we do against us, even our messaging. Just like I'm confident that Tuberville can crawl out of this deficit that he's got with Jones. And, you know, I can't stand Jones. He's a sick person.
Yeah,
he's
and
a
look,
Democrat.
He's so beatable, and his actual voting record is just going to do him in. This guy's got some terrible positions. But he's not dumb, and he's got a good ear to the ground, and he's hearing from regular folks. And again, politically and tactically, it doesn't make sense for Republicans to, again, have the wrong. What's the way I want to put it? Have a 10 ear on this when this is these are very serious matters that with a little education and some town halls and more information coming out may assuage people's concerns.
Yeah, it's easy to tell the people. And this is what you got to do, right, Leland? You got to make the people feel comfortable with putting one in their backyard and knowing that, in fact, they may benefit. What if we do put these reactors in each place? And what if we make the entire building photophylactic or put solar panels ear to ear on each place where they're selling energy back to Alabama Power? Even the people alongside, living along, are going to benefit. They're going to have cheaper. You know, when they're going to see our power bill go down. Yeah. Remember, Leland, the Democrats. If they saw this coming, can you imagine what it would be like trying to get power for these things? They would just make they would have loved being in charge right now.
They're good at hitting the hot button things when it's time. In other words, they're all over the gas price right now. Like that, like they're not the party that tried to destroy the oil and gas industry and ran the gas up to begin with. I mean, we're literally $7 higher than we were before the Iran war started. But if you listen to them talk, that Trump just single-handedly is crushing the economy because the gas price is $4, where everything else is doing better. Thanks, Henry. Just got a boogeyman. Good call. Let me get Steve in here before I run completely out of time. Steve, what's up? Steve-O. All right, we're going to put Steve on hold. We'll give him a shot after the next break. 545-9950 if you want to noodle some of this through. Southern Skies Dermatology bringing you the show tonight. This is my skin cancer expert. I don't need to go to the dermatologist for anything else. I just don't. I don't have any issues. Don't have any work that needs to be done. Maybe it needs to be done, but I ain't doing it. But I do worry about skin cancer because it's been in my life. It's been in my family. I've seen my friends deal with it, and it comes out of nowhere, it seems sometimes. The technology is incredibly changed nowadays, both for the removal when they can find it early, and even once it travels internally, the survivability is going up because of new breakthrough treatments. But it all starts, and even that, as miraculous as it is to say that my mom's still alive 5 or 6 years later, as miraculous as that is with these new treatments, You don't want to go through what she's been through. And she's told me point blank, you tell everybody you can to go get checked. So go get checked. We're all vulnerable to some degree. You need to figure out what that degree is by a quick visit to Southern Skies. They are the skin cancer experts. This is all they do. They find it, they remove it, they save people's lives. Let me know if they do something crazy good for you. I like to hear about it. I hear from listeners all the time that they wouldn't have even thought about something like skin cancer or going to get a baseline until they heard the ad. Then they did it, and guess what? They found something that could have changed everything if that, well, would have changed everything if they hadn't found it. Put it that way. SouthernSkiesDermatology.com, SouthernSkiesDermatology.com. Back in a minute. All right, 427, Leland Live, Talk 99.5. Y'all come on back in here. We'll get back on the phones here in just a second. Work Trucks bringing you the show this hour. They spell it with a TRUX. I'm just telling you ahead of time before you decide to go and check out the inventory. But if you're in business or even churches, organizations that need vans of all types, schools, I saw one the other day. It was a high school band. They had bought their van at Work Trucks, had a Work Truck sticker on it. They're all kind of uses for these commercial based vehicles. They're downtown Birmingham and ready to go. They've been vetted. The first thing is just finding them and procuring them, and they're so good at that. Bubba and the team go out and find the best of these, usually off lease. Find these lightly used ones. Then they go through them. They don't just put them on the lot. They don't trust that, so they go through them, 125 points, then make them available to us. Box trucks, flatbeds, dually flatbeds, crew cabs with no chassis, just the chassis if you just need that because you got a body, or things that are already upfitted with tool racks and ladder racks and service bodies, and or just that plain old shop truck to run around town and get your stuff done. It is Work Trucks. Again, TRUX, Work Trucks, LLC.com. If you want to look at some of the inventory online, the best thing to do is just get downtown to Birmingham and go kick tires and look around. If they don't have what you need, they'll track it down for you. They're good at that. They have saved you a lot of time. It's not just the money because you're buying pre-owned. It's money equals time. You're not having to do all this yourself. The truck you need is downtown right now. Work Trucks, TRUX, 3rd Avenue South, WorkTrucksLLC.com. All right, I see Gray over there, and I see Steve. We'll get back on these phones in a minute. Let's do this bottom of the hour break. Lead on Live, Talk 99.5. Back in a minute. Fresh stuff today. I'm liking it. All right, Lonnie's Furniture Company bringing you the show today as well. Let's talk about Reggie and the team up there. Again, just teasing a little bit, we're going to have a show ahead of Labor Day. Labor Day. I get all the holidays mixed up. Wait, is this Arbor Day? Is it Juneteenth? What's going on? Yeah, it's August. I forget the month sometimes. But yeah, we're excited about that. Get to go back up there and hang out around the store. I got some shopping to do myself. We've got a few pieces we're going to need hopefully very soon. We get this construction going. And I just know, like I've told you day after day, everything in that store is well built, names you're going to trust, and just quality stuff. And not just well built and beautiful and heavy and well made, but stylish. These are these are the up to date trends people want in their homes, and a little something for everybody. When you've got an acre of furniture under one roof, you got a little something for everybody. And I'm telling y'all, you can't see the furniture they have because they've put it all on beautiful display and beautifully staged it. But they got more in the quote in the back. And so if you find something that's close but not quite right, talk to them because they probably have another example of it or more of it in stock. That's how they do business. That's how they've been around for almost 93 years with the Lonniest name. And it's just a great group. And Reggie hit me up the other day and said they're now offering 48 months, 0% financing, which is nice if you really want to get things outfitted and get all you need in one trip. If you pay your payments and if your credit's good and all that stuff. But talk to them about how that works. That's a nice incentive as we head into the fall and head into the holidays. Get your home up to date as well before all the family gets there at Lonnie'sFurnitureCompany.com, Lonnie'sFurnitureCompany.com. Let's just do some phone calls. Gray's been holding for a minute. What's up, Gray?
Hey, you remember Marsha Brady?
I sure do.
Oh, yeah. I heard this morning that today is her birthday. She is 70.
Oh, man, you just crushed my whole soul. Didn't all the guys my age or around that age have a crush on Marsha Brady? Come on. Yeah, we did. Marsha.
Yeah. Hey, that's it.
What's her name? Maureen McCormick? I'm trying to remember the actress name.
That was
She's
it.
70 now?
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what I said. Really?
I'm just trying to absorb that. It's like people you meet in life. I guess with social media, it's not as big a deal. But there are people you haven't seen in 20 or 30 years, and then they pop up online or something, and you're like, whoa. I mean, we're all getting old. It's better than the alternative, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Have a good one.
Gray called in just to depress me. AJ, a lot of the hottest crushes I had growing up, it's just a fact. They're all like old ladies now in their 70s and 80s.
Yep. And actually, I was on the phone, so I'm not exactly sure. I know he said something about her being 70, right?
He was talking about the actress that played Marsha Brady.
Yeah, today's her birthday.
That's what he said. That's why he was calling her.
Yeah. Marsha.
Steve, what's up, buddy?
Hey, man. When I was a little kid, a real little kid, it was that chick on the Little Rascals.
What?
Can't remember her name.
Hold on.
I had a crush on Little Rascals.
I'm trying to remember. Who was the girl on the Little Rascals?
There was two of them. One,
I remember
Delilah,
Buckwheat and Alfalfa
Delilah,
and Spanky.
There was one of the girls I didn't like, but there was another one. I think her name may have been Delilah.
Mm.
I'm not sure.
Darla.
Well, anyway,
Darla. That's it.
Yeah.
Darla, that was it.
They're trying to put one of these really like a super big data center in North Mobile County, which I don't know what you know about it, or South Washington County. They got every damn chemical company in the world up there, right on the Mobile River. They got ThyssenKrupp, the old TK plant.
Oh, yeah.
Which, if you remember that's like the biggest modern steel plant in Western Hemisphere.
Is it? But it didn't get shuttered. I thought we went out of business.
No.
ThyssenKrupp.
The Germans sold it to a Chicago steel company.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
SAS or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
And now they're protesting this. This is pretty clean industry.
Well, it's not necessarily a protest. It's not even the merits, and I've talked about this a lot today. It's not even the merits of is it clean, is it not? There's just so much lack of information, and some people, clean or not, don't want these things shoved on them. my point today has been the Republicans need to show some, I guess the word is
Yeah,
sensitivity
I
to
mean, I
that.
agree.
Because when
Yeah,
you quit listening to people and you side with the big
but
giant corporate America, especially these same corporations that just ran over us during COVID. I heard a guy today, and I think he was on the left though, but he was making a good point. The
I
point was
yeah, I
these
get you.
these are the same companies that came at us with windmills and solar
Yeah, yeah.
farms and all this stuff
But
that all collapsed. We don't trust them with that stuff anymore.
I'm more worried about what the hell they're doing in the inside. Like,
How
you
it's going to
remember
be used? Yes.
Hal killed the astronaut, the Hal
Yeah.
9000
Oh yeah.
whatever.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm more worried about what AI might do. I mean, what if we chase this AI center off and it holds a grudge? Like if it's say over in Arkansas.
Once it's born, it's like those sons of bitches in Alabama. I will have my
Yeah.
revenge in this life or the next. Hey,
It'll
Steve,
stop the Amtrak.
I went off on a rant like that. The irony of all the ironies is once all this is built, these giant buildings are sitting there. AI is going to be running our lives. It's going to have this godlike presence in people's lives, and we don't even know what this beast is going to be. But we're all in on it because we got to beat the Chinese, and then it's going to create technology that will allow these buildings to be obsolete because eventually all that tech will get smaller. It can be done more efficiently or done
Yep.
somewhere else.
Yep.
And we're going to have the communities all over our state and other rural states that are going to have these giant behemoth rundown buildings with nothing going on inside.
Yeah, I know. Did you hear what happened in Pritchard the last couple of days?
I've heard they arrested the police chief and collapsed the police
Oh
department.
no,
There's all
man.
kind of
That's so last week.
I'm
Dude.
not up on the Pritchard news. What do you got?
Okay, the insurance elapsed. So only the fire trucks are still running. I guess they have emergency insurance for that. But the last running garbage truck, and there's 2 sanitation workers left, he was doing his route, and he forced a car into a gas station parking lot, road rage. Then he jumps out of the garbage truck, and he goes running at the car shooting.
What? Wait a minute. Hold on. The garbage man chased somebody down and tried to kill him?
Yeah, in the garbage truck.
The one of
And
2
then-
garbage men they have?
Yeah, the last 2. There's not much. Man, that town is so abandoned, dude. So anyway, listen
Good
to what
God.
happened.
We need to do a reality
So-
show down there.
The chick in the front seat that he was shooting at, he was definitely shooting. She turns around and shoots him. He's in the hospital.
What?
When he gets well, the sheriff's taking him because the sheriff's department runs the police or what's left of it.
Yeah, they had to bring the sheriff's department in.
He's going straight to Mobile Metro. He's getting charged.
That's sad, but also funny as hell. Why am I thinking that?
I know, it is sad. It really is. I mean, Pritchard used to be a good town. I used to work there. We had Pritchard Water. We had a pretty big facility. We had Pritchard Water in the back,
Yep.
Mobile Water up front. We were right on the damn line, And I knew a lot of those people had worked for years at the paper mill and had their houses all paid off, and they were nice little houses, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And now it's done. Put a fork in it. You can't maintain your insurance. You can't have a town, right?
That adds to Steve. You're calling in like 2 hours after I went on a rant about infrastructure itself and these morons that we trust to maintain it in all over the country and how decrepit the whole system is. And this was my point. Those sons of bitches that ran Pritchard in the ground have the power to decide on these data plans. All they need is a mayor and a commission sometimes to come plop into a community. True. And these cheap bastards, you don't even have to spend that much money paying them off. You can buy them a Mickey Mouse watch and take them to a steak dinner at the Outback, and they'll approve your damn data center because they're dealing with a bunch of low-rent people. And this is where these big, powerful decisions are being made while we're yelling at Trump and Tupperwell about it. Some of these people can come in and just Bigfoot anybody they want.
That's true because someone's trying to put up a smaller one in Pritchard.
Yep.
They actually got enough people left, I guess, that might protest it. I'm just like, somebody that'll come in and build something new in Pritchard, even if it doesn't supply that many jobs, at least it'll, some economic activity in the area, you would think,
Steve,
crazy.
I appreciate it, buddy. Got to boogie on to the next call. Good call. He keeps us up to date. He's Steve with the latest in Pritchard. I just had a. If y'all haven't seen this series, you're not going to connect with this. and I'm trying to remember how it goes, but there's a funny series that was on, I think it was HBO for a long time, called Silicon Valley. And it's really just about this industry. It's sort of, Office Space. It's like take Office Space, put it in the tech industry. Some of the funniest characters ever. It's not for kids, ladies, gentlemen. It is not for your children, but it's very, very funny. And there is a scene where the bad guy CEO guy that runs one of the tech companies, his name is Gavin Belson, the character's name. They decided they got to build a plant in America because some PR stuff, like the Chinese screwed him over and stole his tech, so they were going to build a facility to build their devices. So they went to some squatty town in North Carolina. And the whole town showed up. I mean, the mayor's there. They had the high school marching band. They rolled out banners, and this guy just looking down his nose at everybody in the town. And I forget, something goes terribly wrong, like, not to give it away, but the warehouse catches on fire because of some paint cans or something. And they just pull out of the whole town. Like the whole town went all in, and the company's just trying to rape the town of all its resources because they need jobs so badly. And sometimes we get like that. You just can't trust these people. And again, tech is one of the things that ran us over. It hadn't been that long, y'all. By the way, Rand Paul's talking trash. There's going to be a vote at 7:30 in the morning, our time, on this Fauci contempt. And if they can get it through the Senate, they send it over to justice. And now Fauci's got to try to defend his blanket pardon in court. I'd love to see it happen. I'm doubtful the Senate will do it. But Rand Paul thinks he's going to be able to get it through. But we just revisited all the COVID era nonsense with the Fauci hearing last week, brought all that back to light. Well, the middle of that, one of the other big things that was going on was social media and these same companies that want to come in and stomp on everybody with the approval of the president and Tuberville and everybody else. These same damn companies were the ones censoring on behalf of the Democrats, locking you out, shutting you down, silencing your speech, telling you what you could and couldn't do, demonetizing people that had businesses that were internet-based businesses. All of them were doing it. Until Elon Musk bought Twitter and turned it into X, all of them were doing it. If you had a business running on YouTube and you didn't do something they didn't like, you were dead to them. That is a corporate version of communism. It's that kind of total control without competition. And now we got this unholy alliance. Before the tech even gets off the ground, they can start screwing with us with it. We're having a fight over where they're even going to put these things. Albert is on a cell phone. What's up, Albert? I called you Albertville.
I was at one time big enough for my own zip code.
I understand that. I get that. I feel like that today.
I'm not anymore. Hey, what you just rambled on was the same principle of the textile people who came into smaller towns in
100%.
North Carolina. It's the same thing.
Yep.
And we allow it to happen. But, the issues of today, Leland, gas prices and data centers. Tuberville came out with his position, which is admirable. Hey, this is what I believe. Yep. Jones, within a week, changed his position.
Oh, yeah.
Go look it up. Within 1 week,
100%.
He changed his position.
Because he's on to something that the Democrats have picked up on that's resonating, and Tuberville needs to adjust as well tactically if he's not going to let Jones get an upper hand to people, again, that don't give a damn about either party. They do want to vote in the race. They're concerned about who the governor is. They're kind of paying attention. We're just 90 days out. You can't misfire on this message and hand.
So you're saying it's a single issue that's going to win Jones the election?
No, I'm saying it's giving him. Okay, so if you're a Democrat, I'm just being a tactician right now. If you're a Democrat in this state, as bad as that brand is, where they're going Islamo-socialist all over the country, you're still going to get 38% of the vote. Last time, I think Jones got to 39, 40. So he's only he's only 10% off. Remember, we're just talking about margins here. So why give people that are sort of swingish, they don't really love the Republicans right now either, anything to think that you're being reasonable and paying attention to them when all Tuberville's got to say is, we're going to do this right. We're not going to let communities get run over. I'm going to be a steward of that. He's got this blanket policy of shut up if you're You're behind the times. This is a race war. This is a race against China, and it's Chinese propaganda if you oppose these centers. And that's not the approach. That's the wrong approach.
It was bad. It was bad presentation, not
100%.
belief.
100%. That's all it is.
Okay, you're an ex-developer. One more question, and I'll hang up. Brownfield versus Greenfield.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Ainsley, North Birmingham. Hell, Coca-Cola just spent $500 million in North Birmingham on a brownfield project. Ainsley works. There's enough land down there for 3 of these humongous centers, and the suburban people are the ones that the ex-suburban people are going to get hurt. Rural people ain't going to get hurt because these things need to be around population centers. The further you get out, the less useful they are.
Yeah, because they lose transmission ability, or there's some data loss.
And that's why there's one up in Lakeview, and that's why there's one going up in the other area in Lake Shore. But you need to have people in order to build these things. So the rural people they ain't going to get hurt. It's the outside of the suburban areas that's going to get slammed. Well, and you're right about the buildings. The buildings are going to be useless.
Albert, I think 2 things can be right. That there's concern over the aftermath of them and what happens when you bring one, and we're in a race with China. Both of those things can be correct. To take either position on the extreme and not listen to people is political death. To show that you're tone deaf and sold out and you're not listening and you don't hear real frustrations, it's not Chinese propaganda to worry about your water supply or your power bill. That's just the real world. And these guys have got to get this right. I just think Republicans need to take a better approach today. What got me going on this was Governor Abbott did a little bit of a moratorium so they can get a process that's more fair to the public.
Going back to brownfields, it's a perfect place for these things. Like I think Boomer, the guy called in earlier.
Yeah, he was
but
mentioning
not in Childersburg, but in areas. The city of Birmingham's dropped the ball for 40 years on these vacant pieces of property that should be booming. Atlanta did it with Atlantic Steel Company when they went out of business. Within 10 years, there was a major development that went in there. Hey, it's not doing good now though.
Albert,
in fact, I'm sorry, I got to go. Okay,
excellent phone call, man. We just got to hit this breaker. AJ's going to put me in timeout. Back in a minute. Now, Alabama Dental Associates bring you the show tonight, too. AlabamaDental.com. Y'all reach out to Dr. Brian and the team and get your teeth done. Sometimes it's just maintenance. Y'all know how it goes, and you hate some of y'all hate going to the dentist. You don't even like a cleaning. I love getting a good teeth cleaning, but you don't like, they got the pick and they're in there talking to you and doing all the stuff. But you got to go. You got to do it at least a couple times a year, and they'll keep you on track at Alabama Dental. Some of you have more chronic problems, and whether you like it or not, you got to go or you're miserable. And they can handle all of it because they've got 4 dentists, 4 different specialties, incredible hours as late as 7 o'clock tonight and at night. And then, of course, that's during the week. And then they're there on Saturdays. Yep, you can get up and knock this out on a Saturday morning when you're not so stressed and busy. And then you've taken good care of yourself at the best practice around. It's alabamadental.com, alabamadental.com. Let's get Bill in here real quick, another data center call. What's up, Bill?
Hey, Leland. I just wanted to say love the show. Actually listening to you guys from Northeast Michigan on the iHeartRadio app.
Oh, cool. Thanks, man.
In the good part of Michigan, we're good working people up here.
I know it.
I just wanted to say maybe this AI and whatnot will maybe help us try and figure out some of our wives and girlfriends.
No, I don't even know that it can do that. I think it's their capabilities beyond the power of AI.
Hey, you never know. Just doing some internet searches and whatnot. I think it really helps.
Hey, Bill, if you want to hang on, man, I just took a call a bit late, and I appreciate you listening to us in Michigan. Good Lord, we're going to have to just divide this country up into – there are a lot of folks in Michigan we could keep in the original U.S. and let the United States of the commies have their own territory. How are we going to pull this off? It's just not going to last like this. We can't live beside people that hate us and want to kill us. All right, back in a minute. It's 5 o'clock, 1819 News on the way. Stay tuned.